aka Slamman100.
What? Yeah. Can I hear you? Yeah. Let's throw it. 60, 73, and 9. What's up, y'all? It's Basketball in the Basement. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Big Rob, aka Slamman100. And we've been absent for a while. We had a lot of things come up. So we had to take a hiatus. How do you want to say it? Hiatus. But anyway, once again, it's April 13, 2016 on a Wednesday. And this probably was one of the best basketball nights I've seen in a long time. First of all, anyway, this year has been pretty good. Very, very well. The All-Star game was excellent. Congratulations to all the winners and all the participants. Slam dunk contest was brought to a high max. I think one of the most creative and best dunking contests this year, hands down. I don't care, hands down. I know Michael and Dominique, we bring up and talk about, and Mike had some crazy posterized dunks in his day. Woo, he did. This is during the game. But for that time period, they revolutionized it. You know, they brought it back. Dr. J, was in the early stage. But, and I could go on and on. There's, Kobe into the dunk contest. Different people or basketball players also played in it. So, we know that it's more than just one. But, man, this year, wow, so it was real good. Zach ended up winning the trophy. I believe Gordon from Orlando Magics, you know who you are. Just can't think of your name. I'll get you next time, though. I'll put your name in there, and I'll, give you all credit. I'll talk a little bit about that as well later on. I'll mention it again. But anyway, just got to mention tonight, man. I usually don't do this. This is, 3:46 in the morning or at night. And I usually need my sleep. I got to get this sleep. But, tonight I felt I had to come out here and put this out. Simply because today, however you want to put it, or last night, was Kobe's last game. And I was able to watch it. And the great thing about it is ESPN1 and ESPN2 had one of the two greatest games. One, Golden State Warriors playing against the Memphis Grizzlies. And then you had the LA Lakers playing Kobe Bryant. Let me say this right. Kobe Bryant and the LA Lakers played against the Utah Jazz, and which was an excellent game. I mean, going down in as far as the basketball world is considered as one of the greatest games, I think, for one single man playing at the end of his career. And well worth it. But we'll talk about that a little throughout the show. But first, let's go into some standings. Well, tonight, quite a bit of teams played. We'll talk about the scores and then we'll get into the standings. The score, Boston defeated Miami 98-88. Toronto Raptors defeated the Brooklyn Nets 103-96. Charlotte beat Orlando 117-103. Detroit Pistons beat Cleveland by 2 points, 112-110. Atlanta lost to Washington. Washington won 109-98. And let's see here. Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Pelicans, New Orleans Pelicans, 144-109. And he had the Indiana Pacers beat Milwaukee Bucks 97-92. Houston Rockets, they beat Sacramento Kings 116-81. The Spurs won over Dallas Mavericks 96-91, close game. Chicago Bulls, they got beat. I believe it was 115 to, let me pull it up. Just had it for some reason. It's 115. Let's get that out of here. Yeah, they beat the 76ers. Sorry about that. Chicago Bulls beat the 76ers 115 to 105. I just had to make sure I had the right information here. Also, too, the Golden State Warriors, once again, 125 to 104. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies, which was a good game. But I didn't see early on Memphis Grizzlies. They had some, for what they had, they played good. They played great for all the subs that they've had to go out and get. And I thought even the game that it looked like Golden State was going to lose, they played a very great game. Defense, offensive, awkward. I call them like an awkward team. They got players that are awkward, but they play great. And so sometimes it's hard to get their number. But Golden State, you could tell right in the first quarter, man, Steph went off and started setting the tone. Green and all the guys got in there, Clay. And so I didn't see too much going on. And stopping that, let's see here. Phoenix, they beat the LA Clippers 114-105. And then Portland Trailblazers beat Denver. Denver Nuggets 107-99. So those were your highlights from your game. Those were what the scores were. And now let's get back to the standings. So let's look at the playoffs in the East. Now I'll talk a little bit later on, not now, but this week of who's playing who. But in the Eastern Conference, which is no surprise to me, and should be no surprise to you. Cleveland Cavaliers is number 1. Once again, Toronto's number 2. Miami's number 3. Atlanta's number 4. Boston Celtics is number 5. Charlotte's number 6. Charlotte, you guys definitely, I thought you guys had something, so you guys proved it. 7. Indiana Pacers, and finally Detroit Pistons got in there. Yes, so a great Eastern Conference. Too bad to Washington, Chicago. I thought Chicago would be in there. Washington, Orlando, Milwaukee Bucks, New York New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, and Philadelphia 76ers. Hey, you had to, we'll see you next year. Improvement, do what you need to do to get better. Hats off to your teams for playing well. Players trying to adjust. And this league, it's a tough league today. So, there's no half-stepping. Now, the Western Conference is the 8th seed. Golden State Warriors. No one thought that. We all kind of knew that was going to be. They were going to be number 1. I said it at the beginning of the season. And even number 2, San Antonio Spurs. In the West, OKC, number 3. Yes, I love the way they've been playing. They really stepped it up. Westbrook, man, you really have you and I've watched you and Durant, but especially you, get your team and getting them triple doubles and get your team into play. And the team is also finding themselves. You guys have definitely stepped up. And that's why you're number 3. So you need to pat on your back and now take it to the next level. LA Clippers, number 4. Y'all stepped up. We're going to see Blake Griffin's back. So you guys really got to do something. Portland Trailblazers, y'all number 5. Definitely great season for you guys as well. Didn't know how your team was going to turn out, but I said it all depends, and I looked at the players, how y'all played, and I'm not surprised that you're number 5 as well. Dallas Mavericks, number 6. Y'all had things going on, and y'all got it up. Memphis Grizzlies, number 7. And Houston Rockets got in there. I'm glad to see y'all got in there as well. Now, shouts out to those who didn't make it in the West: Utah Jazz, Sacramento Kings, Denver Nuggets, New Orleans Pelicans, Minnesota Timberwolves, Phoenix Suns, and once again, Kobe Bryant and the LA Lakers. Everybody give him clap. Everybody clap that. Clap for Kobe. Yeah, definitely. All right, everybody. So those are your standings. That was what the deal was in the NBA. So, like I said, 2 great games, double headers on each ESPN. I was switching back and forth to watch both games: the Grizzlies, the Warriors, and the LA Lakers and the Jazz, Utah Jazz, for Kobe's final game. And that's interesting, man. I'm hearing Kobe. I remember when he came in the NBA, young cat, and now he's going out, older man. Our daughters are similar. I'm older than him, definitely, by a few years, put it that way. But our daughters are, right in the same age length. I think we're months apart or whatever, but our daughters are all kind of the same age. So it's funny how kids are right on that same age length. It was great seeing them and the whole family there on Kobe's last game. And, once again, shout outs and props go out to all the mothers, girlfriends, and so forth that, or wives. Let me deal with wives at this point. Not to say long time standing girlfriends as well, but wives, because they have to take a whole nother role. They're committed, and they have to take care of the children and the family while these guys play with their career, because they're dedicated to their career, and they're married to their job as well. It's not a regular 9 to 5. This is a career they're married to, and so the wives take a lot, deal with a lot, and so forth. But as Kobe mentioned, giving his wife and the kids props, and for her holding it down, he's right. For him to get to the level that he's at, and his accomplishments, he recognized that, because she could make it hard for him, but she didn't. Vanessa didn't. So she supportive and helping him get to the arena that he needed to get to, and that's why Kobe has been successful, as far as the home life, being able to have that aspect taken care of. Also, too, Kobe, excellent game, man. 60 points. Wow. I saw it in the beginning. I didn't know what you was going to get, but I had a funny feeling when you had 21. I said, yeah, he's going for that 50 mark. And I had a funny feeling you was going to get the 50, but the 60 was the icing on the cake, man. Icing on the cake. And, what a way to go out. And you know what? I'm going to tell you all right now. He was well deserving of going out like a champion, because Kobe Bryant was a champion. When it came to the game of basketball, you can always tell the superstars why they're superstars, because they put endless time into this game, and everybody's on that team, on that base of getting there. Everybody. But Kobe, you can tell, man, lived it all the way through. And LeBron, and all you young guys that are coming up, talk to Kobe. Kobe's the senior, the older guy at this point. It's funny saying that when I remember, Mike and all them were older and Kobe's coming in. So, you guys need to really sit down and talk to Kobe, LeBron, I think, to get some info, if he's going to give you some info on this winning this game, winning the team, or even talk to other guys, man. Chauncey Billups, different ones. Rip Hamilton, that's another guy. Like I say, Michael Jordan, if he can get his time. Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, different ones, man. that will give you that opportunity to get to that next level to win a championship. Right now, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Basketball in the Basement.
Tune in every week to Basketball in the Basement for the realest basketball talk on the planet. www.basketballinthebasement.com.
Welcome back to Basketball in the Basement. I'm your host, Big Rob, aka Slamman100, where you can also as well hit us up on the web, www.basketballinthebasement.net, and you also can hit me at Slamman100 on Twitter. All right, so welcome back again to the second half of the show. If you haven't heard the first half, you can always rewind, go back and check the show out again. But once again, continuing on talking about two records. Well, actually one great player leaving the game and one great team solidifying their greatness and beating the NBA record of 72-10, and they beat it by one game, 73-9, and that's the Golden State Warriors, if you haven't guessed by now. Great season for them, and once again they're getting ready for the playoffs. You know, that's a great accomplishment. And also for Kobe, once again. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about Golden State Warriors real quick, and then I'm going to switch over back to Kobe and what he's accomplished. But actually, I'm going to do a show on Kobe, but I'm going to talk just a little bit about something with Kobe. But now first, because we're going to end it with Kobe. And I'm gonna talk about a little Cleveland. Cleveland, I got you guys. I ain't, you my team. I haven't jumped no ship or anything, so you ain't got nothing to worry about that. LeBron and all that, and the whole crew. Put it that way. But I just want to get and take care of the props to the guys that set the record and the player that played in practice, and there is no shortcuts to the game. It's no shortcuts to winning. It's the truth. Everything Kobe said when it comes to laying everything out for the game, he's right. Once you reached and done everything you could, and beyond a reasonable doubt, pushing yourself, think about all the injuries he had. He came back. And seeing him score 60 points a day was something else, man. Phew. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But let's go and talk about the Golden State Warriors record, 73-9. It looked like they weren't going to get it with the Grizzlies. I saw that game. Their first matchup. Well, not the first matchup, but the matchup last week when they were down and they went down to the final seconds. And that was a good game. They've had... Golden State Warriors had a couple of those games. Those are great games for them because it really shows and solidified them as champions. They won last year, and like I said before, they were a good team. Great pieces were all set up, but and when they won and coming back and winning, that was the start of a great team. They jumped up, like I said, in the finals. They were already good and headed to greatness. But I couldn't say that right then and there because I had to see what they were going to do through that series. And when I saw them win through that series, I said, okay, they're a good team. But when the way they started off this past season, 2015-2016 season, I said, man, this is a great team. And I'm not surprised by the record that they beat the record. I'm not surprised. They had all the pieces. If you go back and you look at that 1995-96 Chicago Bulls team, same thing. Tough. I mean, the Bulls had a lot. a lot of great teams winning 6 rings, and they could have won more if Michael didn't retire, I believe. But it actually worked out better this way. But the thing being is, I want to say this. Mike, the Chicago Bulls had one of the toughest times coming up because they battled a lot of teams and there was a lot of physicality in the game. The game was a bang, very, very, very intense. This today's basketball league is still great. You can't take. I think we always talk about who's greater in what period of time, and I think in each period of time, the great basketball player is the greatest basketball player. Now, I say, and why before I said about LeBron was the greatest basketball player ever and solidified himself was because he's the only guy. If you look and check the stats, he's the only guy that got to the finals with both his all-star guys hurt or got hurt. You know, Kyrie Irving got hurt for the finals. You know, and Kevin Love was already hurt after the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. So, you know, that has a lot to say. And then once again, I said it before, it's a travesty. The greatest basketball player ever, never having a great coach. He didn't go to college to get a couple years and train under any of the great coaches. And then coming in the NBA, taking so long to get. The only one halfway was Pat Riley was there in Miami, and I think he had some. Once again, Dwayne Wade and different ones. There was older ones that was there to give him a little advice, but and helping him probably, and Pat Riley giving him something. But you know, Pat Riley couldn't work with him. It wasn't like he took LeBron from when he came in, and that's the biggest downfall I think of Cleveland Cavaliers. The ownership is that they didn't prepare for the number 1 seed possibly because he was from Cleveland. So once again, you know, but they're taking care of it and they're doing the best they can and trying to get it together. Tyronn Lue is in there trying his best on getting the wins. It's going to be a little difficult, but like I said, I'm going to do a show dedicated to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But Cleveland, you've been playing good, but there's, I think you guys, I'll tell y'all what y'all need to do. Well, let me just say this real quick. Y'all need, Bron, you're gonna have to, how can I say this? You see, you're the only child, man. And so it's hard to recognize being a big brother. See, others can be big brothers to you, but it's hard. It's going to be kind of hard. Your personality a little bit. It takes a little bit, but it's not to say that you can't. You know, humility goes a long way. So you want to add that to it when you're playing with your guys, and you need to. Well, it's hard. I can't even say too much because, you know, considering the facts. Even the great Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Bill Russell, Elgin Baylor, all those guys, man, had great coaches, and they won championships because of that. And so, you know, I can't take that. I can't get on you too much because you're limited as a player. As good as you are, and raw talent, as well as from the perspective of seeing the game and understanding it, but you're only going to understand it from your age standpoint. But you need a coach. You're a coach on the floor in one aspect, but you need someone, another eye, to sit there and tell you, hey, we got to run this, and you got to run it. Because once you respect the coach, it's all about order of arrangement. If you do not follow the order arrangement or the process, then you're not going to get what you're supposed to get out of it. That's the bottom line. So you got to make sure you think about it, because remember, just look at Kobe's last game. Everybody, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, and I'm going to run to the Golden State Warriors. But Cleveland, it's important. Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, you guys are all-stars. you got to match LeBron James' intensity. You got to rise up, man. You got to come out of that. You guys got to take it to the next level. Thompson, keep playing good. Bring yours up a little bit, and the rest of the team. There's some guys out there. I'm not saying your names right now, but LeBron, they're gonna feed off you. But your energy, if it's positive, remember it's gonna go. Your force is probably the most powerful on the team, so you got to utilize it where it's powerful for your benefit, not a load. You don't want a load. You want a wall, and that's what you're trying to build with the rest of your teammates. You need a wall. Once you got a wall, you guys are all in sync. So you guys all got to be in sync on this. You may lack the experience, but it's not impossible. If you play the basics, don't ever undermine or underestimate the basic components of basic basketball: passing, shooting, picks, and all those. They got to be crisp. You guys got to be ready for this win. Ain't nobody going to hand it to you. I can tell you that much. You want to bring one to Cleveland, man, you have to do something, because I'm going to tell you the Warriors is the real deal. They not playing with anybody. They're telling everybody, hey, we the best team in the NBA. We're the ones that got to be beat. And you know what? They right. They're the best team in the NBA. So I got to give them props. There's no question about it. And so Cleveland, you want to win, let's watch them. You got to pay attention. As a matter of fact, everybody's on 0 right now. So anybody can lose a 7-game series. So it depends on the reason why it's important that you be in sync, because when things get down to the nitty gritty, when you're down a point and you got 3 seconds, you have the ball and you have to create a shot. Well, everybody has to play every move perfect in order to win. So that's why it's important to be in sync and get ready now. Once again, Golden State, Cleveland, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Next show dedicated to, once again, part 2 on Kobe and the Golden State Warriors. And then I'll have a show coming on the Cleveland Cavaliers, because I haven't been able to talk about my team and try to give them some encouragement on getting to that next level as well to win. So once again, Golden State, congratulations on your record, 73-9. Man, you guys played like champions, and so definitely props. And once again, the final hurrah, Kobe. Been excellent watching you throughout these years, these last 20 years. Can't believe it went by quick either. Man, time flies, man, when you're having fun. But once again, thank you for coming and tuning in to Basketball in the Basement. I'm your host, Big Rob, aka Slamman100. And look for us for the next shot. I'm going to tell you why Klay Thompson and Steph Curry shoot so well. So I'll see you then. Talk to you a little bit more. Good night, y'all.